Hello, everyone, and welcome to our pre-meditation talk for our Catalyst meditation, our weekly Catalyst meditation. And today I'm picking a really, really big one, and I get to talk about it for 25 minutes, and then we go into our Catalyst meditation. Um, and I've chosen um, democracy is broken. So what's the fix? Um, the first thing of is democracy broken? We can talk about that for a long time. It seems like on the one hand, it seems as though it's not. I mean, we still have elections in this country. You go to the polls, or in the case of Oregon, the polls come to you. And you vote and something happens. In many, many countries that are supposed to be democracies, that doesn't happen. You get the same person over and over and over again. And they wind up getting elected because they can manipulate the what's going on in their area. They can manipulate the machinery of their elections. When I was um, in Uganda, Museveni had won his first election. He was a very popular president and was um, really doing the right things. I was very pro Museveni. 30 years later, he just got elected again. And he's not a popular president. He's a very powerful president. And I think he's planning on dying in office and doing that no time soon. And now is grooming his son to inherit his office. Democracy is broken. We can say that from our point of view also that, what you get to vote on and how you get to vote on it and what we're doing is a whole other matter when no matter what candidate wins, the corporate industrial um, big money interests have bought all the candidates, so it doesn't matter which one wins, their interests are going to be protected. Um, we're looking on the national and international scenes at a president making policies, breaking alliances based on nothing. It's not, I was saying at one point in time, he was based in fantasy land, but it's not even fantasy. It's kind of what he feels like doing when he wakes up in the morning. Um, and we can keep going down that road. The only question I have is why would we do that? We know where that road winds up. Why do we want to continue to put faith in institutions that constantly fail us? And I want to do something now. You don't hear me talking about my first book often, The Power of One, Authentic Leadership in Turbulent Times. We're still looking for authentic leadership, and the times are more turbulent than ever. But I want to do something now is read from the conclusion. And I said this, 35 years ago? I'm losing track of my uh, of my accomplishments here. But I want to read this because I think that when I said this a million years ago, It was true, and it may be even more true now. Um, um, so I said, new times and new issues call for a new direction. A few brave souls may venture a protest. There's nothing I can do about the Middle East or pollution or why the price of everything is so high. I'm just one person. What power does one person have to change the world? The answer is easy. The power of compassion. When military might has rusted, when temporal fame has vanished, when all worldly powers have come to an end, the true power of compassion can be felt. Great cities turn to dust. Beauty fades. The strong become weak and feeble, but the compassionate truly will inherit the earth. What can the compassionate do to correct our modern day problems? Everything. Compassion is the light which drives out the darkness. Fear, egotism, and arrogance causes us to ignore the pain and suffering of others. Learning compassion, that ultimately I am you, will provide the energy for the profound societal shift necessary for our salvation. Um, so I was a bit younger than I am today when I said that, but I think it's still true. Um, I asked the question of, is this the death of our society? Or what can we do to fix this? We don't fix it. You don't fix a caterpillar. You don't um, work at trying to reverse the process of the dissolution of the caterpillar. The caterpillar is an integral part of this caterpillar butterfly complex. What you do is get out of the way, and and if you do anything at all, hold the energy of its final form, of the butterfly form. If you try to make the birth happen, if you try to stop the birth from happening, you will get consequences. You don't want the consequences. I think I told you about I mentioned before in another session about the woman who could see a chrysalis out of her window and um, could see that the butterfly inside was maturing. You can actually, when at a given point in time, the chrysalis walls turn into windows, and you can see the butterfly's wings wrapped around the emerging butterfly. And she decided that she was going to help the butterfly along by slitting open its the case, the chrysalis, and help it get out. And she did. She slid it open, and the butterfly got out with no problem at all. And it didn't mature the right way. Part of that process of the butterfly struggling and pushing out of its chrysalis was to drive the rest of the liquid that's inside of its body in the chrysalis into its wings. So the first thing that the butterfly does when it comes out of the chrysalis is just stand there for a while and let its wings unfurl and grow to flight size. So this butterfly never grew to flight size. Its body was too big and its wings were too small to fly. And so it just kind of walked around buzzing, trying to fly. And died a fairly miserable death. As you know, butterflies don't have digestive systems. It can't eat. What it can do is get its butt down to Mexico, where it will um, fulfill the rest of its life trajectory by mating and laying eggs and continuing itself. It didn't do that. And the person who did that, her intentions were the best. But it's not a matter of your intentions. It's a matter of, are you listening to, are you one with the energy that's all around you? Because if you are, you will do your step in that process, which is leave the process alone. Um, and we don't know the roles that we are to play. What we know is, um, no, what we should know is what's being whispered in our ear that we should be paying attention to. Um, as you know, I have a muscle testing process that where I contact my higher guidance, my holonic guidance, the guidance of my higher self, but the higher selves of all of the other beings that I can be in contact with. So all of us can guide this one and guide all of us in a different direction. Um, and a lot of times when I ask questions of that higher guidance, I am surprised at the answer. Um, and it's like, hello, do I have a good connection here? um, and and the answer is yes, you do, and do this um, do this in this way. Um, when you do act, you need to act in such a way that is going to be for your good and for the good of all. Um, and I say it that way because this is something that um, when we do our inclusivity mantra and talk about may all beings be well, may all beings be secure, and may all beings be happy, the first person you aim at is yourself. May I be well. May I be secure. May I be happy. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Then you'll be able to help others. When you go around trying to help others and you're not taking care of yourself, you are going to be a lot less effective. Um, I find that I will postpone my own care for the sake of others. Um, and a couple of things happen. Number one, I don't get well. Number two, what I'm working on doesn't come out that well. When you over focus on yourself, even by if you over focus on ignoring yourself, things come out not that great. And so we need to be spending um, enough time listening to the all to hear what the all has to say about this one and act accordingly. Well, the we generally talk about society here, not individuals. And what is our civilizational construct here? What are we doing? Um, we could be looking at how do we fix the caterpillar of democracy, I think that our question is different. I think the question is, how do we birth this next iteration where democracy was this um, fantastic idea a few hundred years ago, so much better than what we had, and now is unworkable. It's okay because it's time for us to evolve to this next step. Um, when you think about our founders, we will see a lot of the language still getting taught in schools about how you look at and how you think about democracy. When you look at the fact that, there are companies and even individuals that can buy a democracy, they can just literally buy the government. Um, we need something else. Um, but it has to be rooted in democracy. It has to be rooted in the fact that um, all of our all of our power should not be focused in on an individual. All of our power should not be focused in on even a group, an elite inside of a society. All of our power should be focused in on the whole, on what's good for the whole. And we should have institutions, we should create institutions that focus us in that way. So what I put in my latest book, Birthing the Nation of Gaia, um, someone said it doesn't make any sense in holding the book up in such a way that you can't see the title, can't see the cover. Um, um, what I put in there are 5 basic principles of where we are going if we're going to have a healthy society, a healthy planet, and a healthy future for ourselves and all other beings. Um, this is actually where I was planning on starting today. Looks like this is where I'm winding up. Um, so the 5 key principles. Um, moving beyond democracy. What would happen if we have um, institutions where all of us are working for the common good, where we don't have to do this with representatives. We can do this with each other, face to face, heart to heart, with all of us and focused on the same objective, even if we don't carry that objective out in the same way. I keep going to back to the beetle that I saw, the dead beetle that these ants were trying to get down into its hive. And they were having it, they were struggling with it. And uh, they were doing different things trying to work on this beetle, but all of the different things they were doing were aligned with the same goal, and the goal was get the beetle down in a hive. Um, some were cutting the legs off and carrying them down, carrying it down piece by piece. Some were trying to widen the hole of the hive to get it in there. Others were trying to stuff the beetle full body down the hole. And all of them together got it down there. Some techniques were more workable than others. Um, our second key element was getting beyond geography. Our news of the last few weeks has been dominated by President Trump's latest fantasy, which is we have to own Greenland. Um, Less said, the better. Um, but what happens when we become a planetary nation? What happens when we become a nation without any borders? A nation that is constantly welcoming, a nation where people can move to whatever relationship they wish that will be good for the whole. And we'll know that. We will know that when we are connected into the consciousness of the whole. Um, our third key element is getting beyond violence. One of the things that we have done over the past few thousand years is create um, power for ourselves by being violent with others, either direct, sending your army in, or implied, having your police forces carrying guns through your streets, saying, behave this way, or there will be consequences. I was talking to someone who considered themselves a peace worker but said, well, we have to have armies, we have to have weapons, we have to have guns. It's the only way we can protect ourselves. It's like, and I said, try thinking about that again. Let's just, you know, let's give that some thought. Um, do you keep guns and prisons for your children, for your family? Are there other ways of doing things? And then we can move beyond money. That's going to be one of our most difficult um, challenges because it's so pervasive. We have lost our ability to have thoughts about what is good for me without having money as an equation. Um, when you ask a young person, what do you want in life? The first thing they say is money, and then more money. Um, I was doing a training at a work site some years ago, and that right before the day before, they had done Take Your Child to Work Day, and one of the questions they asked for the the children is, when you grow up, what do you want to do in life? Now, what they wanted to say was, I want to follow in the steps of my mommy or my daddy and do the kind of work that they're doing here. Um, or an element of the work. I want to drive a bulldozer. I want to have an airplane. I want to. And what they all of them said was, I want to be a millionaire. And then somebody else wrote, I want to be a multimillionaire. And then someone else said, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a multi-billionaire. Now, they probably couldn't spell trillionaire. Um, now, and when you ask a person, what is it that you want to do with $1 billion? And they will say, I want an airplane, I want a yacht, I want a mansion, I want 10 mansions. And yeah, you can do all that. But what do you want? What's here for you, and they can't answer the question. I know most adults can't answer the question. Even the ones with the billions can't answer the question. And so we need to be able to do that, to be able to answer who and what we are, and to do that in a way that is good for us and good for the society. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly Catalyst meditation. Welcome to those who have joined us today. Welcome to those who are following on the outline, and we have an anonymous crow on the outline. So we've got crows outside and inside. Welcome to those who have been with us in the past on the Catalyst meditation but can't join us today. We are going to do our centering meditation, and we are going to practice breathing together, and we are going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and if we can keep going in our silent meditation for another minute or so. We can come back to our mutual center. We'll continue with our intentions. As the imaginal cells within the chrysalis come together to form the butterfly out of the disintegrated caterpillar cells, we come together to form a gateway for the meta-consciousness of the mind of Gaia. We act for ourselves personally, and we act as aspects of the whole. The universe is one, is alive, and is conscious. Holonic consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the universe. Every atom in the universe holds consciousness. It is always with us. We're acknowledging this now because many humans have forgotten, and many humans have been in denial. We act to reawaken our connection to Mother Earth for the benefit of all living beings. And we acknowledge our connection to all beings. Our oneness includes all humans, including those who have gone before and those who are to come. We are one with all beings who thrive on and in the air. We are one with all beings who thrive on and in the water. We are one with all beings who thrive on and in the earth. We are one with all beings who thrive on and in our bodies. We are one with all beings that thrive on light, the beings of the plant realms. We are one with all meta-beings, including the earth as a living meta-being, air as a living meta-being, fire as a living meta-being, water as a living meta-being. We are one with all colony beings, meta-beings that are collections of solo beings, and this includes murmurations, colonies, schools, hives, pods, flocks, herds, migrations, harmonies, swarms, and other forms of colony beings. We especially acknowledge and honor those beings who are partnered and bound with us, including those beings we rely upon for food, for security, for assistance, and for love and companionship, and those beings who rely on us for the same. And we acknowledge all other forms of consciousness, known and unknown to us. Having acknowledged all beings, we blend all of our energies. May all who are part of Mother Earth be connected to and in perfect health, harmony, and balance with each other and with Gaia for the common good. We are in perfect physical health, harmony, and balance. We are in perfect emotional health, harmony, and balance. We are in perfect relational health, harmony, and balance. We are in perfect mental health, harmony, and balance. We are in perfect spiritual health, harmony, and balance. We are in perfect holonic health, harmony, and balance. We are in perfect spatial and temporal health, harmony, and balance. We are in the perfect place at the perfect time, in the perfect conditions, and with the perfect beings. We set and we energize our declarations. We declare that the universe is one, is alive, and is conscious. We declare that holonic consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the universe. We declare that the earth and all earth beings are one. Together we form a meta-consciousness. We declare that all humans are one. One family, one species, one destiny. Separations are illusory. We awaken human consciousness from all illusions of separation. We declare that humans are colony beings. We deepen and expand our human murmurations, our human harmonies. We declare that Mother Earth is the ultimate governing principle, the way that humans govern their behavior on this planet, replacing all other forms of human governance. This is the way our behavior aligns with the will of the Earth. We declare that Mother Earth is providing all necessary resources to achieve the vision of a world that works for all living beings. We declare that we are creating a political and economic system where all beings participate in it, all beings are in relationship with it, all beings own it, all beings benefit from it, and all beings govern it for the common good. So we're now going to meditate within this energy, within the holonic energy of Mother Earth. We will be listening for messages that we may receive that we can bring back to others. We'll be making any personal requests that we may have. And we'll be deepening and expanding our human experience of our human murmurations, our human harmonies. We'll be doing this for the next 8 to 10 minutes, and we'll be starting now. And if we can come back to our mutual center, we'll conclude with our inclusivity mantra. May I be well. May I be secure. May I be happy. May you be well. May you be secure. May you be happy. May we be well. May we be secure. May we be happy. And may all beings be well. May all beings be secure. May all beings be happy. And so it is, and so it shall be. And I thank you for joining us. Opening for informal discussion business here. I realize I just did 4 of the 5 key elements of our principles. I left out a nation moving beyond dogma and a nation of spirituality. Very, very dangerous stuff. We have tried that before, and the results have not been good, mainly because we were focusing on dogma, doctrine, rules, regulations. You're not doing this right, so therefore I'm going to kill you, or oppress you, or chop you up into little bits, or finding all sorts of very interesting ways to dispatch you, and losing the point of what we're trying to do by saying that we're spiritual people. One of the elements, and this is true throughout our existence. I keep going back to my ant observations. One ant can't tell another ant what to do. They don't try. You just keep following the vision that you're holding. And if all of you are holding the same vision, you don't have to worry about what we are doing. And that's our challenge. I'm not seeing any microphones going on, so I'm going to say one more thing here. Kalia sent me a talk. You know that the World Economic Forum is going on right now in Davos, Switzerland. I do my very, very best to ignore it. Well, they do their best of ignoring me, so it's a mutual ignoring here. So, but she sent me the address by Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, specifically because he was quoting Havel in his address. And I was kind of cringing when she sent that to me because there's so many politicians that quote Havel wrong. But he quoted Havel right. And I went on to listen to the rest of his address because it was just refreshing to listen to a politician who acts like an adult. And I remember that it's like, yeah, this is people can do this, When I was on the panel, the 4-day conference on Forum 2000 some years ago. Even the people I disagreed with sounded reasonable, and I could have reasonable disagreements with them because they were thinking um, and doing more than rattling whatever was on the top of their head when they got out of bed that morning. Um, so I just thought that that was I'll stick Carney's address in the goodie box, and I'll put a marker for where he starts talking about Havel. If you just want to listen to the minute or so of that. And he was giving the greengrocer analogy that you've heard me give from time to time. Um, and yeah, it was good stuff.